Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and everything and amazing Propagandacast. With me, your host, Imperial Dane, the one and only Master Propaganda Heroes, like Defender of the Fatherland, Officer 1-1 on Djebel Pass. In the west stands DaPopeCoH, fighting for the British Empire, the Commonwealth, King George. Even the British 7th Army Division, the Desert Rats, with the Australians in the east, is the one and only Orangepest. The one and only most orange of pests, except no false messiahs and prophets proclaiming to be the most orange of pests. There is only one, and it is this one. Fighting here for the German army, Deutschland. Here with the 90th Light Infantry Division, or Lightest Infanterie Division, rapidly mobilizing against the British Scourge. Here with the Italian Combined Arms, we got Double Sabre Stingo versus Bestiary Bike and Panzer Punier. As always, a big hearty thanks and salute to all those patrons who support the Propagandacaster with their hard-earned money. Big thanks to you wonderful chaps and chapettes. And a big thanks to those who keep commenting and liking the videos. The heroic efforts to energize the algorithm to, haul its ass to bring the video out to more people is also most appreciated. So, off we are here. Bessier rushing northwards. Panzer munitions further south here. Bike rolling ahead. Got the Dingo there on an aggressive patrol, hoping, of course, to spot the bike. And by Jove, does it spot the bike. Probably because Pope can listen carefully through the fog of war, which actually give away light vehicles because they do make engine sounds. Infantry just doesn't go vroom, 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 vroom. It's like, deceive the opponent player. I mean, just try imagining that. Alright, men. The English are carefully listening through the fog of war for vehicles. I'm gonna need 5 of you over there to go vroom vroom for 5 Minuten. That would be a hilarious little inclusion there. But anyways, light support company. Even more hilarious would be then someone actually falling for it, writing it somewhere online. I can't believe they added this function. I got confused because they went room, room, and I can't tell the difference between actual engine noises and room, room. But thankfully, I hope we'll never have to deal with that. Anyways, light support company, engaged and fired here. Best here holding the line. Australians closing in there with their Lee Enfield Marks 4, though they actually use the SMLE Mark 3, which is a short magazine here. Double Bessier finding off Dingo, closing him, got the bike rushing, there we go, flanking the Dingo. Suddenly, DaPopeCoH's Dingo is in trouble. A vast sea of trouble, and it does withdraw there. Meanwhile, Panzer Punier trying to catch up with the bike there, as it just goes vroom vroom all over the place there. Can't call another Australian section, I imagine. Will note, of course, that Australians are less common against the DAK, because you typically want, more anti-vehicle options, like anti-tank grenades and potentially anti-tank rifles, and the Australians just don't have that. Of course, you do get the 2-pounder gun, but even there, it typically means you just go hard on the sections. Bit worth there pointing out, and something you may want to consider in your own matches when playing, Coh3 there.
Infantry section trained and ready.
Dingo there, cheating medicines, one Bessier there being overwhelmed slowly. We got a second Panzer Punier squad there for Orangepest or Panzer Punier to lead the effort, the war effort against the British. Bessier there taking heavy losses, forced away here by the strong hand of the British Empire here. Center falling to the back, Panzer Punier down the Schützenmine 42, ready to catch up any enemy light vehicles.
Additional light AT 2-pounders.
Bolters also up there for Orangepest, thumbs up. But I imagine we're looking at, something. Oh, actually, no, we do get a third Bessier there. More glorious Italian infantry. We got the samples moving in, they're hitting that southern fuel point, looking to sever their Orangepest precious fuel supplies. With another section away there for Pope. There you go, Panzer Punier forced to withdraw there, unable to match the firepower that Pope can deliver in that particular area. Swinging northwards again here. Bessier getting ready for the next wave of attacks here. We'll have to see what Orangepest does next, but for now there's no indicator as to what he's planning for his next decisive maneuver here. Got the Dingo rolling forwards. And got Panzer Punier making a few shots there. we got artillery fire there raining down here. Quickly making use of that Dingo's veteran vulnerability to try and mess here with Orangepest's seizure of the northern fuel point. But it just doesn't quite work out. Further south, though, Italian forces moving forward, catching here Pope's sappers in the south, utterly exposed and unprepared to meet such a vast Italian tsunami of wrath and pasta. North, the Italians being attacked here, section lane, flanking it, going for a nice potential deep flank there. Not a bad move there, Pope at all. Orangepest, of course, realizing his retreat path is being threatened, retreats more or less immediately because if he sticks around for too long there with the threatened retreat path, there's a higher chance he loses his units on retreat. So that's definitely something you'll want to be mindful of there when you're like, you know, finding your flanks retreating or just pushing in. Like, you want to like try and visualize what potential retreat paths your units may have to take, and then like try and keep in mind, like, you know, if your opponent's side is threatening them, you may want to like, you know, retreat sooner so you don't risk losing an entire unit. Further south here, Italians basically there, recapturing what's lost to the British, cut off funds being seized here and there. Well played for Pope.
Packages are inbound, Commander.
Grenade package for Pope. To cause rough grenades and sticky bombs. Fun fact, unlike the Americans, the British actually manufactured sticky bombs, like, you know, on a larger scale. They just weren't that great, in particular they got stuck to you. But they did actually sort of, you know, more significantly exist. Whereas the existence of American sticky bombs is mostly seemingly based off Saving Private Ryan, and maybe it was in the Ranger Handbook back then, but we just don't really seem to have, like, many sources on that. So, there again, using the artillery trying, you know, messy, keeps one off the cutoff point. Actually a pretty sharp play there by Pope. Fortunate for him, though, his Dingo gets taken up by a mine. Good mining by Orangepest, 2 thumbs up. Flak filling half the way there. Bike, somehow surviving there, the artillery fire, though it's definitely getting a bit close there. So, there's still some good plays there from Pope that really messed up Orangepest's economy and really allowed him to, like, you know, further, like, you know, push back and then also gain an edge. He's taking up himself here.
The enemy has pushed us back.
Also got one Lee Enfield upgrade there. Scope ones for DaPopeCoH. We'll have to see Orangepest next. We'll go for the Bladers. He might try and play for armor of the calling kind. In particular, with the fuel situation, he's been quite aggressive and raspy by Pope. So, it wouldn't be entirely, you know, insane or daft for Orangepest to consider, you know, perhaps relying a bit, you know, on M1340s for some Aventors. At least for a while to help stabilize, you know, once Pope starts flinging all, you know, the bigger stuff at him. But we'll have to see. Just because there's a reason for him to do it doesn't mean he will do it or has to do it. But it's definitely, I think, worth pointing out that is a consideration in the current state of gameplay between Pope and Orangepest. And we've got the ambulance on the way there, so you also got to deal with all the infantry there. Definitely going to need some healing, some recovery, chaps. Got the Bladers unlocked. The Blader Modelo 30. Because while the Italians definitely knew how to make submachine guns, light machine guns, not so much. I mean, the Beretta Model 38 submachine gun was an excellent submachine, in fact considered one of the best by both the Germans, the Italians obviously, and the Allies to basically get their hands on it. They thought it was really good. They also made some others in much smaller numbers, which might also have been decent, just not quite as widespread. And of course, even the Model 38 Beretta, they still struggled to mass produce. They actually, like, you know, made a more simplified version that wasn't quite as good, but still, like, alright. You know, just trying to, you know, speed up production numbers. Bike heading north, it's here, Punch be a bit as well. That's also just one of those things also worth noting about World War II. It's like just one of those wars, like, you really see a lot of times they just try to, like, you know, simplify, you know, design, to, like, speed up mass production. So, little fun there. Fact. Sabbath's prepared for the flag filling further south. Here's section up in the best area. One squad already retreating here, clearly not willing to risk it here versus DaPope. He's got his hammer in the field here. So, of course, there's another potential threat that, you know, he could, like, hunt down the unit and retreat and wipe it out. Oh, that's a pretty late naval station there out of Pope.
Territory lost.
There you go. Keenly got Jürgen there.
Victory point is in enemy hands.
Got the Bezier flanking him from the south. He taking some damage. Send us with the Panzer Pioneer further south, Bessieri, Bitsy. We got the Humber going loose up north. Flak feeling after they're being fixed up.
Hold all victory points. Act now.
Bessieri catching one of the sappers, immediately dropping in. Nigel out of Westminster.
Initiating rollout of battlefield
And we
commissions
got
for the men.
infantry in there for Pope's infantry. Really good upgrade overall. Piazzaieri doing what they can here with their Kakano bolt action rifles. Got the flak filling southwards. Large flashy explosions that don't really do much. And there we go, they got the Pack 38 here for Orangepest. A clear concern here about enemy light vehicles and armor. Also think just an admission again with the way the fuel situation is between him and Orangepest. Pope. Him and himself, yes. The greatest contest. No. But between him and Pope, there's certainly the possibility, like, you know, he could be on the receiving end of some really big tanks, theoretically. So having the Pack 38 does obviously provide a bit more. But it's enough, he's not going for the Colin version, indicating he wants to keep that sort of as an open option. Actually, fuel-wise, he's now starting to really get ahead here of Pope, due to much stronger fuel control here, due to large part of the flak filling half track, which is just, you know, really good.
We're losing a victory point to enemy action.
That said, nerfing it won't be easy because the rest of the state of DAK, I think DAK would struggle a lot more
Victory
without
point
it.
under enemy control.
So, certainly could argue it's just, you know, not so much the DAK, but the flag faction. That. So we've got the Humber running forwards here, zooming ahead here. Catching a few plucky towns I've got, and what is this? Wow! Really deep flank here with a flak feeling half track. That's a really bold flank. Super bold, but I'm kind of liking it. Actually part of a pincer maneuver here. 2 thumbs up to That's actually really nicely well done here. Overall. Like, basically moving in, they're catching the extinct from a bad spot, and of course, also finding a retreat path from a lot of other separate units, so this is really good. We do get a sticky grenade out there, sticky bomb. Yeah, this was really a well set up, like, pincer maneuver flank here. Unfortunately for him, of course, there are still some issues with it. But, I mean, as a whole, that was really well done. Unfortunately, can't quite get the gun. I'm just calling the Panzergers now sort of the emergency Scheiße option there, but, you know, 2 thumbs up. That was a work of art there. Sort of thing they should hang in a museum if it was possible.
Victory point belongs to the enemy.
Center there falling to the British, in this case the Australians. Orangepest there. And there you go, we got a 6-pounder gun ready here. And a sticky bomb. Panzergers almost got wiped. Oof. That's like the undercut the others like niceness of this maneuver. They just ends up like, you know, losing so much quickly after that. Just somewhat deflate the moment.
We're losing a victory point to enemy action.
Like an overall, mostly good joke, but then with a bit of a weak punchline.
Sector lost. The enemy has our
There you go.
victory
Humber
point
fixed
now.
up. Got the strafing run there, so now I'm 1340 here for Orangepest. Maybe some eventers. But we do at least have the Panzer Army commandos. He's going to go for the Panther 3s after all. He did mention the fuel situation around there, which again, was that one concern there that could like maybe cause him to go for the M1340s, but if he managed to turn the right as he did, obviously fuel is less of an issue, and thus he may not feel quite the same pressure to go for the Italian tanks. Feel much to the great relief of the Italian tank crews. Got the best area there, putting pressure here on Pope. Victory points also got a nice lead here for Orangepest over PopeCoH. Got the Pack 38 scoring a fan. Well, It was a side hit, but somehow I guess it just managed to like graze it, so it sounded like it, but just actually did nothing.
You have command points available.
I feel a bit cheated there. Got the Humber rolling in. Orangepest, of course, on the flank quickly deflates here like a balloon. Up north here, got the Northern Pumping Seas, we got the MG. All the way here for DaPopeCoH, going in for a Vickers. Could of course himself tech up instead. I think that would be an excellent option too. But it's quite clear that he's quite concerned about his opponent's infantry. And wishes to suppress it and be able to defend a point more vigorously and heroically. Meanwhile, we got the Panther 3 on the way there for Mr. Orangepest.
Heavy machine gun and crew are ready for orders.
Then going for the cutoff point to the fuel point at the same time.
Is in enemy hands.
Enforcing healing, Panther 3 is almost done there for Orangepest and Das Vaterland. Taking down some Sango walls, nice run to the point neutral. And there we go, Humber goes in, swinging, Metchy to achieve here. And there we go, now we got the company command post only for Pope. Of course, can then withdraw the Humber, get some more fuel and munitions, and then maybe rush out a fast tank here versus Orangepest.
Threatening a strategic point.
That certainly wouldn't be a half bad idea there, I think, out of Pope, but when not in once, got of course on the map. There you go, Pantry rushing through here. Allied lines quickly getting overrun here, particularly since the anti-tank in the south is, quite frankly, unsupported. Wide open. Is quickly sorted out here. And Orangepest here, going in even harder, calling in the Luftwaffe here to deal with the 6-pounder gun crew, though not with that much follow-up. Still, it does cause Pope to withdraw the anti-tank, not wanting to risk it. Feeling some trouble as well here till the 5-pounder ring down death here. Almost got the 2-pounder gun. We can see that Pope can't quite get close to it, so he can't save it. Surely stay awake at night though with that 1 2-pounder gun he couldn't save.
Sector overrun. The enemy has it.
Picking up the Panther 3 there. There you go, Crusader on the way for Pope, but is not going to withdraw the Humber. He believes in it. He truly believes in that one Humber armoured car. Panther 3 in the move there, follow up with a wave of infantry out of Orangepest. You also got their pack of steel. Still, honestly, I find is a bit weird, like, the Italian arms industry was not able of producing good quality steel or producing much, so for the Germans to benefit from a pack of steel with the Italians.
Victory point is being overrun.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just, you know, quantity of what they did have. I suppose you could argue with that, but material-wise, not a lot. So it's definitely one of those weird ones when you think about it a bit deeper. It's like, in the surface, oh yeah, makes sense, and then if you actually know anything about the Italian industry during the war, it's like, wait a minute, this doesn't make sense at all. There, Gomez got the Humvee, the nice little ambush here out of Orangepest with his back for it, and the Panzerjägers. Nitrous smoke then, we got the Crusader rolling through here up north, bashing through the walls, crashing past here, Orangepest expectations and defensive lines at the same time. Getting a few re-hits in there, Crusader tank suffering a lot of damage. Meanwhile, Panther 3 is also in heavy need of repairs here. Soon Orangepest back to go for another Panther 3 here, and Pope, well, it's going to be a bit long for him to go for any Crusader tanks, unless of course we force his Humber. At this point it's heavily damaged. It's going to, I think, find itself being less and less effective on this battlefield, besides maybe, you know, applying a bit of utility with its flares and the smoke, but I'd certainly say there's an argument for just, you know, withdrawing and calling another Crusader faster. Definitely, I think, something like this. Yeah, but yeah, spotting the Australians here. But Pope continues to exert mostly good map control against Orangepest. He's perhaps less focused on the victory points than he might want to be. Panzer III good to go again. Not seeing any of his stuff being repaired. The armor serves the Orangepest. Could have gone for another Panzer III, but maybe wants to go for Panzer IV instead. Shoots, or I suppose there's the potential of him just going straight for the Tiger tank, though. That one might be less of an immediately correct choice here for Orangepest. We'll have to see. Is a far better player than me, so there might be, of course, some line of play there that I'm just not seeing. That his heroic visage gazes upon as clearly as the sun gazes upon the ground. I was trying to make it sound really cool. Enough about that. Just pretend I said something that was really profound. Section moving forward, see. Under fire from the Panzer III, those trains getting mauled. We've got the Crusader rushing in here. Panzer Pioneer there, getting decimated. Up north here, bike pushed back down. Quite good work there by Orangepest keeping his bike alive for that long.
The battle falls in our favour.
Not bad at all. And there we go. Do get another Crusader there. I think finally withdrawn the Humber, it would appear. And in fact, he didn't like call in another Crusader shortly after. I mean, he'd suddenly have like 3 tanks versus Orangepest 1. That could be a pretty strong development there for Pope. They could put a lot of pressure on Orangepest. I definitely think you should just go for another Crusader tank if anything.
The beggars are threatening a victory point.
Also upgrading his Crusader tank there to the Mark III. I mean, good if Orangepest has a lot of armor. But I think this is a single Panzer III. I think upgunning the Crusader is less ideal as it does downgrade its anti-infantry ability. Like, it's really good. Typically, you want, like, you know...
Crusader cruiser finished.
Really only upgrade them when you're forced to. I don't really feel like there's enough pressure here out of Orangepest to force his hand on that subject matter.
A munitions point is being overrun.
So, just a bit of a comment on that one, in case you yourself at home were wondering about that one as well.
Victory point is
Right, we're going to do get the Panzer IV, that Orangepest with some assault grenadiers riding along. There we go. 3rd Crusader here for Pope. Of course, there's the Panzer IV. There's certainly a bit more of an argument for an outgunned Crusader tank. Bit more of an argument. Got the Panzer IV swinging in here, looking to get behind once more. Pope. Not a flank, but this time though. Pope was ready with mine still. We got the Mexican really popped in the Panzer IV. He's got the 6th gun crew here. Panzer takers engaged the Crusader tank here. Almost got it.
Just lost an anti-tank gun.
But this is Panzer III there. Panzer IV on the scene and lost the Panzer III. 2nd Crusader moving in. But Crusader tank goes up in flames. Turrets sent flying through the sky. Bit of a painful loss there on both sides. Grenade assault here. Almost had it, I think, well timed too. Had the grenade assault then a bit better.
Engineers out of contact.
Clearly he got the wipe out of the way, so it doesn't matter. Quickly became very academic.
The beggars are threatening a fuel point. We're losing a victory
Another
point.
sapper section there for Pope to replace ones that got ruthlessly cut down by the Germans, and most rudely too. Good lord! That was our cricket
Royal
team!
engineers on
Yes!
the field and
Bloody
ready for your
Germans!
orders.
Now who will play cricket?
The enemy has our victory point now.
Right, that means you.
266
The
versus
beggars are threatening a
251.
munitions point.
Sappers on the move once more. Bit surprised he hasn't upgraded the Australians for the scope because they tend to perform
Commander, you
quite
have
well with it.
CCs available.
This is a bit of a noteworthy skip, I think, out of Pope. Perhaps he just wasn't expecting to live this long and was kind of expecting to get, you know, mauled. Who knows? Another 6-pounder gun over Pope.
Munitions point.
Keeps upgunning his Crusaders. That's definitely a bit of an odd one. Coh3. Bit of an odd one. Not entirely sure what the name. Crusader heading northwards there, and of course his arm health there, up over repaired.
Victory point lost.
There we go. This area pushed back.
Anti-tank weapon and
Routed
crew on
by the
field.
armoured fist of the British Empire. Six-pounder gun there, hold off.
We will be able to requisition Grant's tanks shortly.
Yes.
Job better than fucking paperwork, innit? On it.
There we
We're
go.
losing ammunitions points to
Pope
enemy
moving up
action.
next, heavy going for Grants. Excellent, excellent.
Mine's laid.
Grants seem
Might
to
want to
be
avoid this
pretty
spot.
good investment. They've definitely gotten a lot rarer after the Crusader buffs. It's not because the Grants got worse, it's just the Crusaders got a lot better, and they're of course cheap, so I mean a lot of Crusaders now flanking attacks in free armor, it's of course really, really good. So in that sense, for a lot of players, the Grants just are perhaps a little less fun, but also more expensive. But they still offer a lot of firepower.
Crusader tank knocked
Crusader
out.
down here. Don't know why he's sending it on his own there versus opponent. That was definitely, I think, the bit of a tactical error there by Pope when he has like multiple Crusaders. You always want them to like working together towards the same goal and fighting like a tank.
We've lost contact
And that was
with our
clearly
sappers.
not it. He's lost another sapper section again. Feels like more issues and errors are creeping into Pope's play here against Orangepest, whereas Orangepest is like, you know, nice, efficient there, and you know, not really a lot of issues in that sense occurring, like, you know, not spending off his tanks like that.
Supplies
Such.
aren't making it back to HQ. Lines cut.
He's making less of those kind of issues compared to his opponent.
They still have 250
Got the
points
Grant
left.
on the way there.
Effector is in enemy control.
Got the Grant on the way there. Pope is already withdrawn one of his... No, he didn't lose it. He lost it. Never mind. Partly, I think, was just a bit optimistic there about Pope's ability to keep his tanks alive, it seems. Another minefield. Just a mine.
Orders complete.
Picks up the Panzer IV. I suppose you could be holding out for a Tiger tank now, but we could also just go for another Panzer. We'll go for a parachute. Oh, meanwhile,
Grant's medium tank.
not really doing much with this battle, but there you go. M3 Grant ready. British version of the
The
M3
beggars are
tank.
threatening a victory
Basically,
point.
the difference was just the turret was a bit bigger to accommodate a radio, so they actually didn't need like a seventh guy, meaning it was just a six-man crew operating the tank like the American Navy, which was
Victory
a
point
seven-man.
belongs to the enemy.
Fun fact.
We're losing a munitions point to enemy action.
There's here rushing forward to mid, of course, with the Grant. Orangepest forces
A
men
victory point
will
is being
become
overrun.
pastisors. There you go, quick strafe again here from Orangepest. Thumbs up.
Victory
Almost
point
had the
on
biggest
enemy
creature as well
control.
there. Further up north, Australians who come here by a swift maneuver there by Orangepest. He's got that triple capsule locked in again here. Versus the Pope.
The beggars are threatening a munitions point. Our
Pope
supply
is definitely
line's
going to do
broken.
something here
We have
soon.
sectors isolated
Might
out
also
there.
be worth withdrawing the Crusader tank here to try and get out another Grant faster, honestly.
Commander, enemy forces are
There you go,
all
Orange
victory
Pest,
points.
assault grenadiers are getting peppered, high explosive shells
We
out
have
of the
command
ground.
points ready to use.
And wiped. That's definitely a slip there by Orange Pest.
Infantry attacking us!
Losing an assault grenadier squad like that is definitely not an ideal move there out of Orange Pest to rope
Enemy
really any
ground
player.
forces have claimed a sector.
Repairs finished.
That said, it's the type of mistake that can happen, in particular as the match draws on. You might at times find your attention being a bit overstretched, so those types of losses can crop up because of that. It's still painful.
We can conduct supply runs to secure additional resources.
There we go. Picks the best of his abilities there. Now both players have gotten everything they can out of the battle group.
Far too close for comfort. Take it, Hank.
There we go, swinging southward. Spike spotted, still alive by the way. Actually, free bike here for Orangepest. 2 thumbs up. Really good unit preservation on that one.
Fire on her.
Really good unit preservation. Guns blazing, got the 6 bunting on the flank at the Grant. Zappers are strengthening subs, got the Vizier, they're putting up a heroic effort. A strong front against the British invader. Up north here, Crusaders fighting off against the Vizier there. Nice bit of heavy cover there, thumbs up, good position. Northern point is front to the British Empire. And we finally got some armor training out of Pope. Also a very good upgrade like infantry training. As for Orangepest, he's absolutely done for a Tiger tank here. And unfortunately for Pope, but the way his force is currently built up, he is very vulnerable to a Tiger tank. Like, he's got one anti-tank gun, one Crusader, one Grant. Like, it won't be impossible for him to deal with a Tiger tank, but if Orangepest is like, you know, pretty focused with it, supports it well, just hits Pope really hard, he could, I think, just knock him out of the match with a Tiger tank very quickly. Like, one well pushed blow right now. I mean, if Orangepest just, you know, dithers about a bit aimlessly with it, sure. There's time for Pope, I think, to stall out, you know, get up some more responses and counters, but if Orangepest just, you know, goes full-on blitzkrieg with this thing, and supports it properly, Pope's going to be in trouble. And his troubles, in fact, are just about to get a lot worse, because he's just lost his only anti-tank gun he's got left, meaning it's just the Grant and the Crusader tank against a Tiger tank, supported by Panzerphones and Panzerjägers possibly as well. I mean, that's not going to be, I think, an easy task here for Pope. And if, again, Orangepest just attacks with it, it's going to be a near impossible task. Straight up. Love to see, but there you go. Tiger going in, shoots. And note that he actually aimed for the sappers, it seems, because he was basically, we could get them wiped out. It's going to be next to impossible for Pope to repair any of his stuff, meaning Orangepest could just pressure his opponent even harder. And for Tiger tank advancing, Grant in pretty deep.
75 points remaining for us.
There we go, GG, game over. Victory for Orangepest, a loss here for Pope. A phenomenal fight with some great maneuvers out of Orangepest that I think, you know, again, highlights the power of a good flank from time to time. So enjoy this match, I've learned something from it, and this is Improving. Cheers, and see you all tomorrow for another episode. Bye, everyone.